Cruising down the street in my 6'4". Y'all know what time it is. It is time for the morning run. Runners, get in the chat. Let us know where you're checking in from. Mata and Mate 2 have moved up. Coach Gundy has moved out. Oklahoma State just let their head coach go. We're going to talk about that and then some. Coach Prime's weekly presser coming up right behind me. It's the morning run.
Yeah, y'all. Runners, mount up. Morning time somewhere. Definitely morning time out here in Hawaii, 7 a.m. Hawaii time, 11 a.m. Mountain time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. We'll have Duke checking in with us. We got you covered across the nation and beyond.
Let's get ready to go. He coming down.
All right. We got the presser coming up right now, then, Coach Prime. Let's see. You can find this shot anywhere else in the world. Voice of the Buffs. Mark Johnson. Noon Central time for sure. Coach Prime. Here we go, Unc.
Someone struggling. That's in my spirit. Someone in the hospital is struggling right now. Everybody in here? Everybody good? Nobody. So I don't want on my team. I'm gonna go call his name. That just found out that one of his family members passed away, and he asked for prayer. So pray him up. BYU coach Sataki is. I consider him a friend. I consider him a dear friend and a God-fearing man, which I adore. Man of standard, man of principle, and a darn good coach, and a good dude. He's going to have his team ready. They've been playing superbly this season, even with a young quarterback. Defensively, they've been shutting things down and doing the doggone thing. Offensively, they're physical and tough, and that's the team I know we're going to face. A physical, tough football team. I admire him so much. I mean, played at university, had opportunity to play pro ball. Just a straight up winner. He's a winner. Student of the week, Chauncey Gooden, and Carter Stockmeyer. Caden Salter, Manning Award Star of the Week. And the second game, CU history. Had just the second game in CU history, 300 passing TDs, 300 yards passing, I'm sorry. 3 TDs, 80 yards rushing TD, and blah, blah, blah. He played his butt off. Jordan Seaton is one of the highest rated offensive linemen in PFF, which I don't know what PFF is. I don't know how they do their rating, but he's kicking butt. That's pretty much what it means. Drone show at halftime this week gave accompanied by the band performance, to accompany the band performance. Soccer has home games on Thursday in Iowa State. Love those guys. Love you guys. Keep on doing it, ladies. Iowa State Sunday in Houston at Print. No, Phil. I see, put the T on there, right? I see print. No, Phil. Cross country. I see the guys running inside sometimes, and it's unbelievable. Like, they just take turns to pass. I adore them. Has a big meet at is Missouri warm-up meet on the same site, the NCAA championship in November. Volleyball is traveling to face BYU and Utah this week. Tennis had a good showing. I love tennis because of John Blackenroll, and that's what I take. That's what I took up when I was down. And I put a turf tennis court at the crib, so it won't be hard on my feet. But You know, I think Woods will make me some wonderful rackets with prime on them, and I love it. So I am John Black and Roll. Okay. Women's golf is in action today, and men's golf hosts his home tournament. And the guys out on the elevator today to teach me how to play golf as well. That's it. Let's go. Let's do this.
Hi, Coach. How you doing?
How you doing, sweetheart?
Good. Nikki Edwards, Yahoo Sports. Last week, it was all about accountability.
Right.
What is the message this week to maintain that winning momentum?
Accountability, and we're going back to consistency in is why. It's a big question of why. So like I showed the young men this morning, wonderful plays they made during the game. It was from each segment. Quarterbacks, the running backs, the tight end, everybody had an opportunity, including special teams. And I'm saying, well, why can't we do that on every play? Why did this guy flash this play and you don't see him again until he flashed later on in the game? Why not be consistent and be dominant and have your name called consistently? And we know, like we know what Mata's gonna do, we know what New Mate's gonna do, you know, and we know what Buck's gonna do. We know the ball's going to the end zone. He gonna kick the strings off the ball when he punts, and Mata's gonna make it if he don't get it blocked. So those are three guys that we want consistency all across the board, like we're getting from those guys.
Hey, Coach Luger.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing blessed, thank you. Looking at the fact that you guys had a night practice last week, how much do you
We
think
had
that?
two. We had two
You
of them.
had two of them.
Yeah.
How much do you think that impacted your performance, and do you plan on doing something like that again, considering that?
Yeah, we made plans to keep similar schedules. It impacted us tremendously because we understood how to turn our bodies off and on. Kids understood that they needed rest because of the night game, so they could come out and have a great start. And although we got some penalties up front defensively, they came out with energy. Offensively, we came out with energy, and that's what we want to do, especially at home.
But,
Hi, Coach. I'm Mr. Tiger, 24.
How you doing, Alex?
Doing well. This is going to be the second Big 12 game. I'm curious what your thoughts are on the new policy with reporting injuries for both.
That's for gambling purposes. Ain't got nothing to do with us. It's for gambling purposes. That's my thoughts.
And after the game on Saturday, you were pretty optimistic that none of those guys had gotten banged up too much.
Well. No, I cried to you before I lied to you. We're expecting Seaton and Zai to play. Other guys, we don't know. DT and Simeon, we don't know. We're hoping to get back Swain as well. I don't know, but Oganula, did I say that right? Sammy, I just said Sammy, all right, just Sammy. Okay, and RJ, we don't know, but the two big linemen, we plan on seeing them. But we've made adjustments in the running back room as well.
Hey, Coach.
How you doing, sir?
Good, thank you for taking the time. When you started this, you were talking about, Caden and his, 300 yards passing.
Right.
Those are the numbers, but there was a moment in the game where, after Michael Welch fumbled, he went up to him and kind of get his head back up. Is that kind of the things we don't see, or the leadership that?
Well, that's the
kind of
thing
lost?
that we want. That's the thing that we desire. That's the thing that, ain't too many people make a light of, but those are the things that a quarterback is expected to do. Those are the things that we're happy that we see. We're elated that we see. And it goes a long way with your teammates when they see in a time of disparity, you're able to pick that guy up and place him back, because guess what? Two backs went down and we need to get back in the game and do his thing.
first time.
Hey, Coach. Good to see you. Scott Proctor at DNVR. You mentioned after the game that offensively, there weren't different plays called.
Right.
Now that you've got a chance to watch it from the one out, what was the biggest difference in the Caden that we saw week 1 and week 2 versus the one we saw on a Saturday night?
Certainty. You're gonna run. If you're gonna throw. Certainty, not, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Running with a confidence like I'm running, not running, I'm gonna get hit. He made up his mind to do what he needed to do, and he did it. Like whatever, the Bible says, whatever your hands find to do it with all your might. And we're hoping that we have a consistency, and not just Caden, but everyone. Do it with everything you've got. And I think you just seen a kid just hit another switch and say, I got to get this together, and I got to play up to my ability.
Okay, that's one. wanted to ask you about some series goal too. After his touchdown, I kind of saw you like share a moment with him.
Yeah, he's the dog. He's a dog. I just want him to have more opportunities to show who he is. I believe this is his last year,
Yeah.
and I want him to shine like a Christmas tree, man, because that's how good he is. We just got to get him involved more in the offense and take more shots with him. But he's the kind of guy backs off, you told him to hit you, now the guy got to come up and make that tackle. If he misses, he might as well get ready to hit the band because they're gonna be playing.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Yeah.
Right. Go ahead.
Ron Scholes from Ralph Report. Obviously rematch from the bowl game.
Right.
I know it's an entirely different team. Does
Sure.
this one feel like it means a little bit more? Is it just business as
They
usual
no,
this
no,
week?
they mean a lot. Every game means a lot. This conference game means more, but yeah, it's not like we ain't with that get back stuff. I ain't with the get back stuff. I'm with that let's get 'em stuff. So they played their butts off, kicked our butts in the bowl game. Now we have a whole new team. They have a similar team as well with new management being quarterbacking, and it's a good team, well coached team, disciplined team. We got to get a lot more discipline, not some of the pass interference, the PIs that we had, and the stupid penalties that we had. You know, necessary roughness. We got to stop all that foolishness and play a consistent game, prayerfully penalty free.
Hey, Coach, Brian Held, Cameron, a couple of questions for you. You mentioned adjustment to the running back room. Is that gonna be a way that maybe you get the ball in Traylon Miller's hands more?
Well, I'm planning on doing some things.
And then want to ask you about Amari McNeel, who had a pretty good game this last week.
Mhm.
I know maybe didn't have the start to the season he wanted, but can you talk about like just him and the way he played and bounced back a little bit?
Amari is the guy that gives you a lot of energy in practice, and he gives you a lot of energy in the game. Sometimes technique may be an issue, but it's not because of the lack of effort. He's a guy that wants to be a pro. He wants to be great. He wants to make plays, and he's learning to practice consistently in that manner. And when we see it at practice, oftentimes we see it in the game. And when we don't, we don't. It's not just with him, that's with a multitude of the young men. But I'm one of the guys that stays on him quite a bit because I absolutely love him and I want him to exceed all the expectations and go to the next level. But I'm proud of him. I really am. He stood out in that room this past week.
Good job.
John Schneider. Coach, you often have expressed the desire of your team to be more physical against those teams that bring a lot of physicality, like whether it be Georgia Tech or
Right.
BYU last year. How do you get them to be more physical?
Well, you started practice. Start by tackling, start by hitting, done. Maybe not using your arms, not wrapping up, but getting there with your feet to practice getting there, period. Everybody's getting to the ball. Physicality is the attitude. Then it becomes the effort. But it starts with the attitude, then the effort.
Good, Matt.
Hey, Coach, last week, something we haven't had a chance to talk about yet, but the Administrative Council for Division One voted to essentially eliminate the spring transfer portal window. And I was just curious now, with only one portal window, how does that change things for you and the way that you guys go about your business?
We gonna go about our business like every other school. It's the same rules for everyone, right?
Sure.
So we gonna get what we want. We always do. And when we don't get what we want, that means somebody offered more money. That's it. We're gonna scout the players and hopefully we get the type of guys that's not coming here to play for money. They come in here to play because they want to play for the Colorado Buffaloes and they want to play up under this team and how we do things and the consistency that we're on television and all that comes with it. So it is what it is, man. As long as the playing field is level for everyone, I'm good. I have no complaints.
One other thing I wanted to ask you about, I don't anticipate it to be the case this week, but around the mid-third, end of the third, the stadium emptied out pretty good the other night. I
Yeah.
imagine you can't have that happen for this one, but also.
No, you can want that to happen. Because when they're leaving, what does that mean?
We'll
Exactly.
That means the game is over. They going to party. I'm cool with that. They're right down the corner. On what street is that down there? No, not Pearl Street.
Up on the hill.
On the hill, that's where they at. That's cool. I know where they at. So I don't mind them emptying. You gotta understand it was family weekend as well.
Sure.
So a lot of the older family members probably said, okay, let's go home, honey. And they wanted to get out of there. But we're winning. That means we're winning. That means we're winning. I don't mind that.
Hey, Coach, Tyler Kingman, Denver Gazette. You mentioned this is not, you're not viewing this as like a get-back game against BYU.
Right.
Obviously, you have a lot of respect for Coach Itake.
No, I love it.
And,
I love him that much. He's a great human being.
and what, and kind of what he's built at BYU. Do you hope with what you guys have built the last couple of years and what he's built, that this becomes, or maybe it already is, kind of a marquee game that when BYU plays CU, that it's a game that
Well,
people want to watch?
marquee games are based on wins. If the team is undefeated, that team is undefeated because of a marquee game. You can't have a marquee game and you're not touted to be anything. So we have to earn that respect as a get, and prayerfully soon that we do.
Jack, go ahead.
Coach Jack Harlow.
How you go?
Well, that sounds like you're optimistic that Zai will play this weekend, but on
Guys
Saturday,
gonna play.
Yaya got in the game a little bit.
Yeah. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, just your thoughts on him. How cool was it to
Well,
see him?
first of all, he wants to change his name to Sanders. He really does. And that's no joke. He wants to change his name to Sanders. Everyone on the team knows that he's one of my favorites. Charlotte Shador took care of him, looked out for him, treated him like he was the big little brother last year. I mean, he's on private jets. He's going to Vegas. He's going to Texas. He was everywhere. And he didn't have to reach in his pocket for a dime last year. He was taken care of well. So he wants to become the Sanders to continue that. I told him he got to earn that right. But I love him. I'm proud of him. You got to understand, he hadn't played a lot of football. So it was a fast pace, him digesting what football is all about. But he's working his butt off, and he's nothing to be played with when he gets in there. He does the job we ask him to do. And, you know, he gets in there tight end quite a bit on certain packages, and he does his thing, but he got in there as a guard last week, and he did well as well. I'm proud of you. We call him Yaya. We call him Yaya.
Yeah. Last one, go ahead. Hey, Coach, Shane Hawkins, Go West Sports. You talked a lot about changing mindset around here in
Yes.
Boulder. You guys have a couple, marquee matchups, as you say, in the next couple of weeks in Big 12 play. Do you see this as a proving ground moment this weekend against BYU?
Well, every week is a proving ground for not only myself, this team, as well as our players. So every week, every practice is a proving ground. We gotta win these type of games. We gotta be dominant in these type of games. But one thing that we want to do, we want to give our best effort. We don't want to walk away from the game saying, "Dang, we could have played better." We don't want to do that like in Houston, playing like garbage, man. We want to come out there and give you the best that we possibly can give you on every phase of the game. And these young men, they want to do the same. I mean, they know the whole world is watching. It's a national televised game, night game. It is what it is. We got to play. And we want to come out victorious. And we will. We execute the things that we're capable of doing. And this is a darn good, physical, capable team.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. God bless.
Thank you.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Just 1 second here. 7. Brian, you want to start us?
Sincere, Brian Halbert.
Just 1 second. 7. Brian, you want to start us?
Hey, Sincere, Brian Howell, the Daily Camera. You talk about just the last couple games, or I guess not Houston, but the last couple home games. Breaking free, getting some big plays for you guys, and just kind of what's that meant for you to kind of start making some plays for your new team.
That meant a lot. Kind of just like referring back to the offense, just our offense, getting our confidence back, and just allowing us to just be who we are. At the end of the day, just finding our identity, knowing exactly who he is, knowing what we have on the offensive side, knowing how to use the offensive pieces that we do have, and when it's time to execute, it's time to execute.
Go ahead, Leo.
Rivera, Scope Reports. Sincere, for your relationship with Caden, how do you think that's kind of progressed throughout the season? Do you feel a little bit more comfortable now that you guys have started to get on rhythm with each other?
Oh, definitely. Matter of fact, before I even came here, I had a relationship with Caden. So that kind of, just playing a big part of what we got going on right now. Just got to continue to get with him. We trust each other more than ever. He's a talented guy. I'm a talented guy. So we just got to put it together for the rest of the season and show the world.
What's good, Sincere? You told us a couple weeks ago or a few weeks ago that you kind of compare your game a lot to Randy Moss. I'm curious kind of what it's been like for you to kind of have him around the team and in the building and being able to, just kind of soak up some game from him.
Definitely. I idolized Randy Moss ever since I was a little kid. That's still to this day the best football player that ever touched a football in my life. So, ever since I saw him as a young player, I always wanted to be like him in some type of way on the field. So, I know it's an expectation you got to live up when you compare yourself to him. So, each and every day I go out there, a lot of people like to call me Moss Jr. So at the end of the day, when I go out there, I got to show them Moss Jr.
Hey, Sincere. Jack Harlow, Buff Sun SI. So you watched your podcast with Darius the other day. You talked a lot about how you want to be kind of a multi-talented wide receiver because, more than just a guy who can run multiple routes. Just how much pride do you take in that?
I take a lot of pride in that because, I don't know, when you 6'5", people don't really look at you as like that speedster. They look at you as some kind of, just a big body, just that, large body receiver who can just block, kind of, physicality. I'm definitely physical as well, but I take pride in speed. Like, that's my thing. Ever since I was a little kid, like, I always took pride in speed. And like I just told him, compare your game to Moss, you've got to be fast. So take pride in that.
Hey, Sincere. What have the last few weeks been like for this team throughout the quarterback changes? And is there a sense of relief now, feeling like, okay, maybe that's behind us?
Definitely. It's exactly how I wanted it to be. Caden stepping up to the plate, showing a lot of leadership, showing that he can do this, showing that how great of a football player he can be. And he got the perfect guys around him to be able to help him just keep this thing going, just keep it, up, not here, just keep it going up. And then on the defensive side, man, I trust those guys as well. We going to play hard. We're going to run to the football. We're going to do what they got to do. And, we compete every day at practice, Monday through Thursday. That's what the world don't see. And that's what, that's where it starts. And that's what everybody sees on Saturday.
We talked to you in camp about this team, and you said that Colorado was your favorite college football team, right? What has the experience been like compared to your expectations now that you've been here, had a chance to make some plays on Folsom Field, some big games?
Definitely. I got a little doubted when I got here coming from the FCS program because of the huge jump. So, in my head, I kind of don't pay attention to those things. I just put my head down and work. If you're a dog, you can play anywhere. And, that's just my identity at the end of the day. Yeah. So at Colorado, I love it, man. It's a great experience playing for Coach Prime, playing for all these Hall of Fame gold jackets. Even my coach, Coach Phillips, he's a wonderful coach. He's on me every day, and I love it, man. I love it more than ever. And at the end of the day, man, this is an NFL-based program. It's like a mini NFL program. So at the end of the day, you're getting exactly what you want every single day. It's not a fall off. It's just exactly what you want every day.
Hey, Sincere, Tyler King with the Denver Gazette. That touchdown you had the other day seemed like came off of kind of a broken play. Just kind of what has been the chemistry like of getting with Caden and how kind of rewarding was it? I'm sure you guys practice that kind of stuff all the time. Rewarding to kind of get behind the defense and kind of find the space, when the play breaks down like that.
Just, at the end of the day, you got to play. When you playing with a guy like Caden, play to his screens, such as how he played to my screens. So, how y'all look at that play, it looked a little broken up and just scramble rules. At the end of the day, you find him. Follow him wherever he go, you go, and just make the play.
Pat Rooney, Boulder Daily Camera. The last few weeks, obviously, it's been kind of in and out with the quarterback situation, be a little unsettled for the receivers. What it mean to see Caden really kind of take charge and kind of put his foot down and have the performance he did the other night? Does it kind of settle the whole offense?
Definitely. That's who, by the end of the day, that's who Caden is, though. Like, he been that guy. He been doing that before he even got to Colorado at the end of the day. Like I said, we all talented in our room, and he trusts all of us as much as we trust him. And at the end of the day, once both of us click, and once the receiver room and he's clicking, y'all see what we can do.
Hey, Sincere, Pat Graham, Associated Press. Coach Prime's message was pretty much accountability and consistency coming into that last week, and then you guys kind of did that. How much did you see accountability and consistency coming into this game and going out of this game?
You see, because accountability, first and foremost, that's every day. That's like before he even mentioned the accountability piece, that's exactly how it was. Discipline, accountability, dominate, decisive. Like, you got to live up to how you play. You can't just go out there and rely on talent most of the time because that's going to get you but so far. So at the end of the day, he's somebody who's been through it all in this game, and he went through the lows, the highs, everything you can think of. So when he's preaching about something very specific, you got to live up to it at that point.
Hey, Sincere, what are you seeing early on just from BYU secondary and maybe overall their defense?
They're a very disciplined group, very sound, very fundamental. They're a very good, very good group of guys, very good team, very well coached. Very physical on the perimeter. A lot of respect over there, and just got to see what they got for the week.
Last one,
Hey, Sincere. Harrison Simeon, Bussin' aside. Last week and this week, late night kickoffs. What kind of mentality do you take when you have to kind of wait all day? There obviously, Coach Prime has changed kind of the preparation up with those kind of games. But what mentality do you take?
The mentality that I take, about the game of football, it doesn't matter. It could be 2 a.m, 3 a.m, 5 a.m. You got to be able to get up or lay all day and get up and be able to turn it on. Like, that's just the game of football. That's just what it is. If you want to be great at this sport, you got to know how to turn it on at whatever time. Any 24 hours in a day, you got to be able to turn it on.
Thank you, Sincere.
Appreciate y'all.
Sorry. You're good. I'll let you, man. You're welcome.
I'm hiding back here.
He's just playing with it.
Okay.
Lauren's good. 88. Shut up. Big receipt. 88 in the house.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody.
Harrison started.
Hey, Amari. Harrison Simeon, Buffs SI. BYU, run first offense. You've played a lot of those so far. Is there any extra level of preparation you're taking this week to go up against that type of offense?
Preparation the same every week. Just staying focused and just taking every day from today seriously, every snap seriously, because every snap gonna count if you're trying to play consistent games. So no different preparation.
Amari, I know you were kind of banged up at the end of last year, but given what happened with BYU down in San Antonio, especially with the guys that were on the team last year that are back here, is there any extra meaning to this football game?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a big game for me because, of course, as y'all know, I missed last year, so I want to face these guys, and they're a good group that I'm ready to face. So yeah, I'm very excited to face them.
Amari Rivera with Scoba Sports. Looking at that defensive line unit, what do you guys need to do together that may not be showing out on film in order to improve this run defense?
Rushing the passer together and just doing our job and not trying to do somebody else's job. Cause you feel me, we play gap sound defense, so just doing our job is all we got to do.
Hey, Mari. Brian Howell, the Daily Camera. You guys have had some injuries on that defensive line, and Anquin has to miss the first half of this game. And what's the challenge this week to for you guys that are healthy to kind of pick up the slack, especially with Anquin out that first half?
Yeah, starting fast is a big thing this week. Trying to trying to just start fast. Yeah, we're trying to just show them our tempo and how we can play fast on defense and just affect the game up front in the first quarter all the way through the fourth quarter. So just starting fast till he comes back in.
Hey, Mari, I'm Jack Harlow with Buffs on SI. Kind of in that same vein with some guys out. Just how much confidence do you have in some of the younger guys or guys lower on the depth chart to kind of step up this week?
I'm very confident in my guys. I feel like we got a good 4-deep group of just domination, just hard nose tackles. So we're gonna play good for y'all and just coming off the ball fast. That's all we know.
Hey, Amari, watching Well-Off and I think Darius from this weekend's game, it seemed like there were a couple of moments where you were being pretty vocal as a leader. Is that something now, as your last year, kind of something that you're really trying to capitalize as the season goes on?
It's something I'm trying to work on because as I just look at the team, we need a leader up front, and I know I could be that guy, and I am that guy. So just trying to lead from the front, because we lead from the front, the guys in the back ain't gonna follow. That's it.
The other thing I was curious about is now that it feels like quarterback has been settled, do you sense a sigh of relief or across the whole team that, okay, that's figured out, now we can move forward from there?
Yes, I do. I do sense a relief. Like, we all got that figured out, and we could just do our own job and just worry about dominating from defensively, and the offense got it. So, yeah, it is relief for us.
Hey, Amari, Tyler King with the Denver Gazette. Coach Prime, obviously after the game, said he wasn't really happy with the way you guys finished the game defensively. Just kind of how is that translated to this week and kind of the work you guys are putting in?
It translates just to basically every down counts. Like just focusing on every play, play by play, and just it's a simple game. Just playing hard and fast and doing our job is going to affect, and we're just going to play fast throughout the whole game. So just doing that is going. In with a put them on the ground, hit them, just so they can just feel us, feel that we coming. So the teams that feel us coming in the first half, first quarter, they're not going to want to play us the whole game. So just trying to show, make them feel us.
Ryan Scholes from Ralph Report. You guys have some true freshmen making a difference on that defensive line, and Alex McPherson and London Merritt. What have you seen from those guys so far?
I have seen a little change in them since the season started because they seen that they getting some time in there, and they seen that they could affect the game too. And like I like how they've been coming along. They look more hungry day by day, week by week, because they know that they got a part in this team and we need them. So I like how they've been coming along.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, guys.
As Uncle would say, back once again. The morning run, that was the prime presser with Sincere Brown, big Amari McNeel joining in the press room right there. Uncle Neely, we're going to
Yes,
do a little
sir.
recap. Let us know
Got to.
thoughts on Coach Prime, first of all, what he had to say up there at the podium.
One thing that Coach Prime is always magnanimous when it comes to praising his opponent. And he understands we got a quality coach over there opposite us, quality program. Those guys are, coming to play ball. And as much as you want to use that bowl game as motivation where it fits, the reality in college football, this is not the same team in the Alamo Bowl. It's not their same team in the Alamo Bowl. So you have to really focus on being where your feet are, be present, be in the moment, because you can try to overdo things to get some get back and put yourself in a position that you don't get right this time. So I think he's, setting the tone with the guys, be present, be where your feet are, win this game, look out your front windshield, not your rearview mirror.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Not worried about playing that BYU shield. We're playing the players that's in the uniforms.
Absolutely.
This year, so shout out to Coach.
Yeah.
And they're going to
And one
come with
thing,
a good, strong
Chico,
team.
that's what I was about to say, Chico. One thing as a former player, whether you were looking internally at your UAB team or looking at your opponent, that there are some teams out there that just don't beat themselves. They don't make a lot of penalties. I think when you look last year, the final four teams in the playoffs that were on their way to the national championship were averaging like 2 or 3 penalties a game. And the people who didn't make it were averaging 6, 8, 9, 10 or more penalties a game. And so when you're playing a disciplined team, you got to make sure you're not giving away opportunities by hurting yourself or giving them extra opportunities by hurting yourself. So, there was some, in my mind, there were some questionable calls this past weekend at Folsom Field. You probably have a different officiating crew, but it still remains the same. You can't put yourself in a position, to give up yardage, just give up pass interference, to jump off sides. Like when you're playing a team of BYU caliber, they're going to make you pay for those mistakes. So don't hand them the ammo. Don't load the gun for them. Play sound, disciplined football. Try to limit the mistakes, and that in and of itself keeps you in a game like this.
Let me ask you this, same time kickoff, a week apart. How do you think this could affect the team as far as, we having the clock is staying the same. Our body clock is staying the same. And
Mhm.
we're back at home once again for back-to-back ball games. How do you think this would affect the team?
I think it's going to help them tremendously because last week was the adjustment. Last week was the doing things different body clock wise. Now this week you're used to it,
Yep.
and so having 2 night practices, we're gonna like we did last week. We practiced Wednesday night and practice Thursday night. Around 7 p.m. as close to kickoff as you can get it. That helped them last week. Going into this week has been the same mechanic, so they don't have to reset the clock this week. They don't have to get their bodies adjusted to it this week. So I think that's going to be an up signal for them that we're already engaged and locked in that regard.
Yeah. And once again, Coach Prime, freshman, true freshman, like London Merritt, Alexander McPherson, Quentin Gibson, those guys making an impact on the team. What does that say to the recruits that's coming? We saw the #1 recruit in Alabama as far as wide receiver go at Folsom Field last week, talking to Coach Prime. At least that's when the picture came out. Could have been week before.
Mhm.
But talk to me about the recruiting aspect and as far as, these true freshmen out there getting the chance to actually play in some meaningful ball games.
Man, you can say one thing. You can say all you want to say. Men lie, women lie, but that film don't lie. And Coach Prime has told every parent that brings their child here on a visit, if I'm recruiting you as a freshman, I'm recruiting you because you can have an immediate impact on this team, and we want you to have an immediate impact on this team. And a lot of people think, oh, every coach in America says that. Well, one thing Coach Prime has is the film to back it up. You look at the play that Jordan Seaton got, the play that Draylon Miller's gotten since he's been here. The play that Harge has gotten since he's been here. You look this past game, the number of freshmen that are out there on the field. Don't get me wrong. When you come here, you're going to leave here a better athlete than you came. There is a development, component to this program. But when they go after freshmen, they're not going after freshmen, so you can play 2 or 3 years later. They want you to have an impact right now. They see something in your game that you can have an impact right now. So whether it's Q for 6, on special teams or going in receiver, he is out there having a measurable impact. He's one ankle tackle away from breaking one, and that's just Coach Prime's philosophy. Like, I'm not going to bring a talented guy in here and let him just sit. If he has what it takes to get on that field, we're going to put him on the field. We don't see sophomores, juniors, seniors, grad students, freshmen. We see buffs. The best buffs at their position are going to play.
All right. And if there's a true freshman that's on the team that's playing behind maybe an older guy and that freshman not getting a chance to play right now, it's still setting them up for success in the future. Can you talk about
Absolutely.
how these young guys can learn from these older guys, these veteran guys that's actually playing in front of them?
Well, one thing that's going to happen is you get those opportunities to practice. That doesn't change. You're going to still get your reps. In fact, Chico, when we practice on Sundays after the game, if you played in 70% or more of the snaps, you have a very light practice, and the guys who play 70% or less have a more intense practice. So on
Right.
Sundays, if you're in a backup role, you're in a primary role at that practice. Show them what you got, like we did last year. Some guys on the scout team before the season ended, 60% of the scout team had moved up and gotten in the game. And so this is just one of those opportunity driven things where make the most of your reps. You saw Shadur have to face that in Cleveland. It's the same thing that happens here. You may have limited opportunities per se, but make the most of those opportunities and you move up. And Coach Prime is big on games where, hey man, if we go out there and do what we can do, if we go out there and do what we're supposed to do, if we go out there and maximize an
Did we
opportunity,
lose you?
look
Or
to
is that just me?
look to the guy to your left and to your right, get him in the game.
Right. I agree with that. He also talked about, like you just said, taking advantage of those opportunities. He feels that's what Caden Salter has done, taking back the reins as the quarterback one for this team. Let me pull it up right here, man. 300 plus yards for Caden Salter on the night. Talk about him and leading his ball club, becoming that leader, and the guys I say the word right? Let's just say this: the guys are following behind him since big word galvanizing.
Chico,
They're galvanizing behind him. Sorry about
I'm
that.
gonna do you like I'm gonna do you like my teacher did. We ain't leaving that word till you get it. We ain't leaving that word. Galvanize. We ain't leaving that word.
Guys are galvanizing behind him.
Hey, I used to be big. Hey, Miss Jones is a big word. Yeah, you see that because they respect what he's been through, man. Respect how he's responded to it. They respect his skill set, whether it's his arm, his legs, or the cerebral process to the game. He made the most. Again, we talk about opportunities. He made the most of his opportunities. He made anybody that doubted, whether they're in the locker room or in the crowd, they had a change of heart because they saw what he was able to do out there. And I think it's still a team effort though, Chico. Like, we can't take anything away from Salter's individual contribution and what he did for that game. But look what that offensive line did for him.
Right.
Look what that running game did for him to keep the defense honest. Look what the receivers did for him. So it's he was just one of 11 of success, and he'll tell you it's about that. And so he loved every minute of the team, loved every minute. And the biggest thing I take away from it, Chico, what you saw K Salt do, he didn't do because we were playing Wyoming. What you saw him do, he can do against anybody that's on our schedule.
That's what he do. That's what he does. He's just out there being K Salt doing what he does, And the world gonna get to see it a lot more on a bigger stage. I think it's just, I think it at the end of the day it played out perfectly, and Coach Prime played it perfectly, I think, and judged it
Chico,
perfectly.
I'm sitting in the quarterback room for a reason.
Okay, tell everybody why the reason why you sitting in the quarterback room.
Because I love what K Salt did in that game. Like he did the damn thing. So a lot of times we're in the linebacker room, the DN room, or the team meeting room. We got the quarterbacks behind us today.
That's right, the legendary Buffs back there, baby. Yes, indeed. All right, let's go to.
I'm galvanizing in here.
You galvanizing. In the chat won't let me down either, boy.
That galvanized had you hemmed in the corner
I was
like Crawford. Like you couldn't get
Damn,
out.
I can't say galvanizing right now. What am I trying to say? You know what? All behind. They cover behind.
Get out the corner, Chico. He balled up, Chico. Galvanized was like,
It's all right. Run about that thing. Like Ralphie did. You know what I mean? Shout out to Ralphie 7. Did a great thing. I think it's a I don't know, what is that, great omen for the team when having Ralphie run out like that the way he did, or she did, get it right, and the team following behind. So shout out to all the handlers and whoever made the decision to pick this Ralphie as the one to run for the Buffs.
Shout out to him, man. And speaking of shout outs, man, shout out to Sincere and Amari, their pressers. We still got to discuss those. I mean,
Oh yeah, for sure.
those guys are just a consummate team first guys. Where they do what they do for the sake of the team, not their individual accolades. And I love how Sincere was saying, hey, people look at my frame and he's just a blocking receiver, but he wants to show that speed. He wants to show that route running, and you've seen it on display, particularly here at Folsom Field. So looking forward to that continued chemistry between Salter and Sincere.
Yes. And
Hey, Andre.
Hey.
Andre, put that back up there, Chico. Hey, I had it in my hand, but I know my guy, so he can get out of this. I looked at the clock. It was 30 seconds left in the round. He can get out of this. He can weather this storm. But
a while.
And the old folks you say, Andre, I reared back.
Throw the damn towel. Shout out to my big dog from Sewanee, Georgia. ATL in the building. Big Amari McNeel. I'm not gonna lie, I liked him since he came over from Tennessee. I feel like he had a lot of potential, a lot of talent with the hand placements. Just had to put it all together. Get in that weight room a little bit more, get in that film room, refine those skills. You got Coach Sapp, had Coach D. Lou, now you got Coach Pecco working with this guy. You see him really developing. Talk about the let me see, let me get a different word. The maceration of Amari McNeel.
Hey, Chico, you played tight end, right?
That's right.
Does that mean you was next to one of the tackles?
That's right.
You and the tackle ever look back at the quarterback like, what play he called? What the hell is that?
I have.
Chico, I don't know what
the
word
hell
you
was
just
that?
said. All I'm gonna do is just grab the man in front of me. I don't know where I'm supposed to go with that word.
Hey,
I don't know if
I
I'm supposed
remember-
to pull, Chop, like I don't know.
Hey, I remember shot the Big Spook out of Montgomery, Alabama. Big Spook about 6'6.5", 350 plus pounds, right tackle. I remember lining up beside Big Spook one time. I said, "Hey, I tried to whisper, "Hey, hey, do we
What
double
we got?
team? Yeah, do what we got? Do I double team? What do I go up?" Big Spook came back to the huddle next time. I said, "Man, get your ass out the gym. You don't know what to do. Get out." He said, "You don't know what to do, dog. They gonna have me looking crazy out here."
You try to whisper so the DE
I'll
couldn't
never
hear you.
forget that. Yeah, he didn't answer. He just went off on me after we came back to the huddle, dog. He's like, "No, you don't know what to do, dog. You tell him out of here, dog." Yeah, I made sure every time I lined up beside Big Spook after that, I knew what the
Well,
hell
you got
to
my
do,
eyes
dog.
watered, Kobe. Whatever word you just said, Chico, I'm finna make us some. I don't
Yeah,
know.
don't
I don't
worry
know what
about
the
it.
play is.
Don't worry about
But
it.
I will tell you this:
It'll go with it.
Big Oos, Coach Oos was really proud of Amari McNeel. Even today in the team meeting, was like, "Man, I seen your post game, press conference, and the way I love the way you made it about the team, big fella." And so you see what Coach Sapp has called a pack mentality. That these guys are really embracing that pack mentality. That it's not about one of us; it's about all of us. And so, whatever that word is, you toss to me, Chico. I don't know if I answered the question, but
that was a curveball.
I don't know what the hell that word
Oh
was.
man. Hey, I was watching TV last night and the lady said reiterate. Right? And y'all got on
Yeah.
me bad about me saying the way I said reiterate.
Yeah.
I was like, what
Yeah.
how did I say it wrong? She said reiterate. What? Y'all had me thinking like, you know what? Let me just leave it alone, dog, and not reiterate what I said before.
That'd be what was their right tackle name?
Big Spook. Shout out to Big Spook.
Yeah, I'm finna pull a big spook and get your ass.
God damn, Big Spook. Big Spook was so big, dog. He was the first person I saw sit on the bed and the bed broke. Like for real, that bit broke. I'll never forget that. Damn.
Hey, shout out to Big Spook, man.
That's a big old fella right
Hey,
there.
Spook heard your question and didn't answer.
Spook didn't say nothing, dog. I felt so bad.
Hey man, what we got?
And look, he did like this too. When somebody do you like this, yeah, you got to go. Get out of here, dog. Get out of here. But
that remind me of that time that, like Coach Prime said, the one and only time he had to swing on one of his teammates. He said, "Man, look, had one play, the safety was supposed to come over, he didn't come. It looked like I got beat.
Yeah.
So I'm on the bench and I'm like, hey, dog, don't have me out there like that no more, man. That looked like I messed up and you messed up." He said, next series, he said, dude did the same thing. He said, they got this sideline. He just went, wow.
Wham. I
Big
think
Spook,
he
like,
said
man,
something.
you can't be
You know what?
next.
I think Brian might have said something like the dude told him, do your job and I got mine. He said something like that.
He tried to
Like,
brush
what?
him off.
Yeah. Oh, hell.
And that's his lie, but just don't do it no more. Okay.
Yeah. Caught that left hook. Yeah, man. So just wanna
but you still got my eyes crying, man.
looking forward to BYU coming into town, man. Folsom Field. And of course they sparked up early out there. Unc said it was before the second quarter. And maybe that's
I mean, it was family weekend, so I guess the whole family just do what they had to do. Hey, that's another thing, man. I have fan eyes, Chico. I have fan eyes. Like when I'm in the team meeting and all that, I kind of have a coach's eyes. When I'm with the players and listening, I kind of have player ears. But when I'm out there on the sideline, I'm watching the crowd. I got fan eyes, and one thing, because that game had tightened up at the end when it shouldn't have, I really was like, damn, I wish the crowd wouldn't have left so early. Like, it's a lot of game left. But to hear Coach Prime's response to that, in the presser, gives like you a whole nother perspective. He's like, oh no, I want to be in a position where they leave early. Because that means we whoop it. Yeah, let them go.
Yeah. And that's real. And speaking of being on the sideline, hold on. And you watching, you got a sideline eye. You know what I mean? I think somebody was watching you on the sideline.
Here comes some shit, y'all. Here comes some shit. I can tell you right there.
It ain't no ish, Ocho.
He's about to galvanize. He's about to galvanize something.
It's Unc on the sideline, y'all, doing his job, baby, working. But the camera is on him too. Shout out to Goonsville Petros, man.
Oh, shout out that shot, yeah.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah, I'm
dope
gonna be
shot too.
posting some of those clips tonight and tomorrow. Some of those in the huddle clips where you can hear the coaching that's taking place, man.
Yeah. Shout out to C Maven AI with the super chat. Said, Unc, when are we going to see our tight ends explode?
You know, Steve Maven, great question. Appreciate that $10 super chat. I don't know when we're going to see them quote unquote explode from the reception standpoint. But one thing I know about you, Steve Maven, you know ball. I challenge you to go watch that film and watch how they exploded against Wyoming from the blocking standpoint. Like we had tight ends out there pancaking D ends, and it really opened up some of those runs around the edge. So, I think the emphasis here is, block first, and all the way up to Shannon Sharp will tell you that, and the receptions will come. I was very impressed with the O-line and the extension of the O-line, the tight ends, and their blocking effort against Wyoming.
Mm-hmm.
And Chico, former tight end, he'll tell you, like, blocking leads to receptions for tight ends.
Yeah. Although if I would have known that, I probably wouldn't have been playing. No, just playing. But yeah, you definitely got to block. Because I was like, throw me the ball. And Big Spook was like, you got to get your butt down here and block, dog. But yeah, that's a part of the game, man. That's the deal when you're playing tight end. You're essentially a hybrid between an offensive lineman and a
Sure.
wide receiver, right?
Sure. And
So,
executing that block and selling that block is actually what leads to you getting open.
right.
Because you can engage and get off and give a quick slant, and you right there for the quarterback.
Especially in this type of offense where there's a lot of RPOs, which I think
Mhm.
will be incorporated in this offense as the season moves on. I don't know, maybe it's just when conference games comes around, I think you'll see that explosion per se of the tight ends, because I think they'll be involved more in the passing game via the RPO and quick dumps right over the middle of the field. And I think it'll really uh, pay dividends during these conference games, because that's when you need them the most. So maybe we're just holding off on it, and they'll come.
Yeah,
Starting this
I
game.
believe that, Chico, and I believe that, and I'm not speaking on behalf of the program or about this program. I'm speaking from a football standpoint. You do have to save some stuff for conference play. There are times that you have a premier athlete like a Sincere Brown and does what he does on those routes. Like you can show that every game because that just is what it is. But some of your different, personnel groupings, whether you got two tight ends or two backs in, this is the time of the year where you see more and more of that, more coming from different formations, because you're playing your current opponent and you're playing them to win, but you're also playing the film and your future opponent. And so,
Mhm.
hey, we're going to show this look this week with this formation with Chico right there, but next week he's going to be somewhere else and do something totally different.
Right. I like Coach Prime, like you say, he has Yaya, who's came in as an offensive lineman, but now you have him
Mhm.
blocking at the tight end position also. That only improves, I think, your run game and your ability to run the football. So I think they'll continue to stick with that, to rely on those guys to be the tight end blockers, but at the end of the day, when you speak about the tight ends, I always come to my head just thinking about the end of that, the PAT and the field goal unit. Although that was, I think it was Quincy Wiggins on that end right there. Usually, it's more of a tight end who's more of accustomed
Mhm.
to, blocking in situations like that. So you might see those backup tight ends in roles like that also, which are very important. As we saw last week, they can give up blocks and take points off the board. We don't want to have that, going into conference play
Yeah.
also.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you count that blocked field goal, you count the Micah victim of the peanut punch. That's 10 points.
Yeah.
And whereas 10 points was not a death nail one way or the other in this game, you don't want to leave 10 points out on the field really moving into conference play.
Hmm. Hey, I like to see our center quarterback under center also, and play those big sets with Smalls in the backfield, H back, Yaya at tight end, big Zach Atkins out there. Get some of those formations too, because we had a running backs that can do it. Real quick before we get up out of here, any updates
Sure.
on? I know Coach Prime said that Seaton will be should be fine to play. What about Price? I didn't hear him mention that. Maybe I
Oh,
wasn't.
he didn't know.
Okay.
So I'm gonna leave it up to the coaching staff and medical staff. We'll see as the week goes on. That because that's literally was his announcement that he didn't know about those players.
Okay. All right, good. I didn't hear that part. But well, stay tuned. Here's an announcement. Taufik Bayer,
Oh,
who played excellent. We should have his parents on for prime parents. Y'all stay tuned for that real soon. All right. Any updates
we got a
on
lot of
him?
more, man, on Prime Parents, man. Staub's dad is still trying to get scheduled, so don't sleep. Prime Parents ain't gone anywhere, but when you're dealing with those parents traveling schedules, because a lot of them come to the games, and
Yeah.
you just got to find that magic window to have them on. But Prime Parents is gonna be rocking, believe that.
All right. I'm waiting on a text back, so that could be today at some point, or it could be Thursday. So y'all,
Oh no, absolutely. Like absolutely. I talked to
we gonna
Staub
bring
yesterday about his dad. It was like hell, he might be calling me right now while I'm on here with you.
right. Y'all stay tuned for that. Put your hit your notification bell so that y'all can get the notification when we do go live, whenever that is. Like, subscribe, comment, everything else, and we're gonna keep bringing it to you. We're not gonna keep coming. We're just gonna keep bringing it to you. That sounds better. But
I think they can all galvanize behind that.
they can all galvanize behind that one. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Let's go.
He ain't lying.
Thank y'all for coming out once again. This has been another episode of the Morning Run for Philip Dukes, Uncle Neely, Big Dog Chico. We're gonna be up and about it.
Philip Dukes is on assignment.
As usual. He's always doing something. He ain't just face breaking. He doing something. So don't worry about it, guys. He'll be with us tomorrow. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, dudes.